Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. It's your girl AliBri 123, and today we're going to do a tutorial on an everyday foundation routine. So stay tuned, grab a snack, a drink, whatever you need to do, because remember, you're tuning in to AliBri 123. Okay, so I did my eyebrows off of camera, and what I'm about to do is actually use my primer. So these are the two primers that I use. This is the Smashbox Photo Finish Light. This is like in a lotion formula type-ish. And then I use the NYX Studio Perfect Photo Loving Primer. So I use both of them and I mix them up and I prime my face. So I'm gonna get ready to do that. Yeah, I only use these two primers. I tried the e.l.f. one. It has the same formula like this. It's pretty decent. So I just use these two. I mix it and I just put it all over my face. Okay. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just put my hair out the way so that it won't be in the way. Okay. So I do that. And so, being that it's winter time, I try not to use matte foundations, and even if I do use it, I try to mix it with like something that's dewy, because I like that velvety type texture on my face. So what I like to use lately I've been using is the Maybelline Superstay foundation, the 24-hour one, and this is in the color 355, which is coconut, and I love this foundation. So I'm gonna apply this, and usually I just use about a pump, or maybe a pump and a half sometimes, depending on how I'm feeling, if I want a full coverage. And then I also use the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. This is like my favorite brush. I love it. I just washed my brushes, but then I used makeup yesterday, so yeah. So I just use that at the back of my hand, and I just dab it all over my face. Just like that. And even on my eyelids as well. And so now I just, like, I still buff it in. And then I just do little circles. And this foundation is a full coverage foundation, which I love, and it's also affordable. I got it from Ulta or maybe Walmart, and I think it was like under $10. So this is really good foundation. I have a lot of Maybelline makeup, which I love, and I just blend that out like so. Make sure you want to get your hairline, of course. Okay. And then it's also good to make sure that you get above your brow, because sometimes when you put highlight on, you don't want it to be just like, you know, eyebrows and a halo of highlight. You want to make sure that you also blend your foundation over that as well, so it won't just look ghostly or anything like that. So then I take my Real Technique sponge right here, and I just usually just dab it in, just so that the makeup and the foundation could like stay in my skin. Okay, so now next I'm going to do my concealer, and I use two concealers that are my favorite. I just got into the Wet n Wild one, which is this one. This is their Photo Finish concealer, and this is in the color Dark Cocoa. So what I like to do is apply this right underneath the eye. And also, if you see me looking this way, it's because I have my mirror right there. So I just apply that underneath my eye. And what I like to do with my concealer is I like for it to sit a little bit on my face for a little while. So I just do that right there. I feel like if it sits on me, on my face for a little while, you know, it kind of gets a little tacky. Okay. And then I use that one. And then for like a little brightness, sometimes, depending on how dramatic I want my foundation to look, I use this Maybelline concealer. The name went off, of course. It's in the color caramel. And I just like to use just a little dot, you know, a little dot on that, underneath the eye. I'm gonna get a little bit more right there in the corner area, of course. So I let that stick. And then for to blend out the concealer, I usually use like this Real Techniques mini beauty blender, and these are like amazing. So I just blend that out, starting with the nose, and I just blend that out. And then yeah. So guys, if you haven't noticed, this is my first tutorial, and yeah, this is my first tutorial, and I'm excited. You know, this is a new journey that I'm getting ready to take, and I want you all to join it with me. So yeah, the concealer, I usually dab it like around the eye area. So I do it on my eyelid and underneath. That's because sometimes I do like an eyeshadow look. So I just blend that out just like that. Okay, so now that I blended everything out, the concealer, I next use my contour. So I use this contour palette from Black Radiance, which I love, and it has a contour color, then it has a sculpting color, then it has a highlight. So I use this palette. This is a good palette too for like on the go or anything like that. And then when I first started doing makeup, started getting into makeup, I wanted to get a nice color contour stick, and I used the Black Radiance ones. As you can tell, it is kind of old, but I love it. It's in the color, well, the number is 8003. And as you can see, I'm almost done with it. So what I like to do is I take this, and this is how I contour. Everyone contours different, or they do it backwards, or they do it all together. But I like to like do like a kissy face. So I start from the top of my ear going down, and I stop like right where my eye is. Like that. And then I also do my nose. So just on the side of my nose, and then I do like the front, like that. Okay? And some people do their forehead. I don't do that on a daily basis, so I'm not going to do the forehead. Okay? And then I like to use, I use this e.l.f. stippling brush, and then I also have a MAC stippling brush that I really like. So for the sake of the video, because it's drugstore, I'm trying to stick to all drugstore, I'm going to use the e.l.f. one. And I just do it in circle motion. Just like that. As you can see, it looks, you know, blend it out. So I'm going to do the other side, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so now I'm going to use the Black Radiance contour palette, and I'm going to use that brush again, just to darken it up a little bit, just to give my skin, well, my face a little bit more warmth. And just do that. So of course I'm using the contour color. And this palette that I'm using is like amazing, because you have all three in one, and you can just, this is something easy you can just take and go and travel with. And this palette is a medium to dark, just in case you were wondering, medium to dark. Okay, and now I'm going to do highlighting. So highlight, I like to use, I got this brush for like a gift. It was in a gift set. I'm pretty sure you can get it from like Five Below. But it's just a regular contour brush. There's also the Wet n Wild contour brushes that are really good. So it's kind of similar. And you can get this from the dollar store, guys. The dollar store. Don't sleep on the dollar store. You can get this from the dollar store. But yeah, I use this brush usually. And I'm going to be using the Maybelline Master Chrome metallic highlighter, and my coworker actually got me into this highlighter, and ever since then I love it. So even though I haven't hit pan on it yet, that's the color. So what I like to do is just dab in it. Get it? Dab in it. So I use that, tap it off a little bit, and I also do the kissy face, and I just dab it on my face like that, even though it's a lot sometimes. But watch, I'm gonna blend it all out. I just go like that, and then do it like on the bridge of my nose, and then I'm just going to blend it out. I love highlight. That's one thing about me that I cherish, is a nice highlight. And so the highlight is on. Bridge of my nose. Make sure this is highlight. Okay, so just to set everything in place, I like to use my Covergirl clean, I guess it's the clean line. The color is tawny, and this is in 165. So I usually use my sponge, of course. I dab it in there. I actually hit pan, and I just try to set everything just like that. So I dab it all over my face just to set everything and make sure everything's in place. And yeah, that's just exactly what I do. And sometimes I use like a what is it? Sometimes I use like a setting spray, but the setting sprays that I do have right now, they're not drugstore. Actually, one is, but it's matte, and it's winter time, and if my skin is dry, I don't need to use a matte, setting spray. So I'm trying to look for a setting spray that's not too matte or not too dewy, somewhere in the middle. So if you have any suggestions, please link it down below, or just tell me. Write it in the comments, descriptions, whatever you call it. Just let me know. So yeah. Okay, so here's the final look. I hope you guys love it, and love it. So I just did a quick eyeshadow look real quick just for today, because I'm gonna get ready to go out anyway. And yeah, so don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on social media. Instagram, it's AliBri_123. So yeah, stay tuned for more videos. Thank you.